Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're going to do another Scrapbook Sunday, and this time this is our trip to Arizona and then to Disneyland. This was our first time to Disneyland and Chad's first time to Arizona. This was kind of a quicker trip. This is a shorter book. This weekend is very busy, so I thought this would be the one to do today because the last one I have is a doozy. So let's just jump right in. Now you can tell the style is very different from my other scrapbooks. This time I started doing Project Life. I did this because I wanted to kind of focus on leaving myself little notes. Again, like I've told you before, I have a horrible memory. Project Life is a little more friendly when it comes to like kind of journaling. Also aesthetically, I really like it. So this is in Arizona. This is just at a rest stop. We stopped and we just couldn't even believe how beautiful just like a normal rest stop is. They don't look like this in Ohio. And yeah, hanging out where the poisonous snakes and the insects inhabit. And then, of course, one of the first things we did when we got there was In-N-Out Burger. This was the very first time of us getting In-N-Out, and we fell in love hard and fast. And then, of course, when you're in Arizona, you have to visit the Grand Canyon, right? Isn't that mandatory? So these are just pictures from the Grand Canyon. We did get a penny pressed from there. This was something that was on Chad's bucket list, and while I had been to Arizona before, I actually hadn't done the Grand Canyon. We had this tiny little rental car, like we got the cheapest rental car we could. It was so small, and it had a hell of a time. This was like a 5-hour drive from where we were staying. We had a hell of a time trying to drive it through the mountains, but we made it, and it was, I mean, it was beautiful. If you guys have ever been there before, it doesn't even look real. It's like you're standing in front of like a backdrop or something. It's so amazing. And then we just have some more pictures from the Grand Canyon. Chad kept getting very close to like the ends and ledges, and it made me so nervous. He drove me crazy with that. And another page of pictures because we're tourists. And then this one down here is actually one of my favorite pictures of me and Chad. Some stranger was nice enough to take this for us, and it reminds me of that scene in The Lion King where he's like, "Everything the light touches is your kingdom." Doesn't it kind of look like that? The number one reason we were in Arizona is because my cousin was getting married. So these are just some pictures from the wedding. Got mom and dad, Cody and Kara, obviously the two getting married. There's a little bit of their wedding invitation here. And lots of photo booth pictures. I love these ones my parents took. Chad and I went Blues Brothers. Full on Blues Brothers in that one. And yeah, these, oh my gosh, I love these pictures of me and my dad. These are like my favorite. And then these, me and my uncle, my mom and my aunt. Look how adorable my grandma is. This wedding was a blast. It was so much fun, and probably too much fun, because the next morning we had to hop a plane to fly to California. We got a hotel room in Anaheim that was about a mile walking distance from Disney, so we just walked. This is at Disney Springs. We were just kind of checking it out for the first time. I do remember the first night we were in the hotel. We're so used to Disney World where things aren't that like close to each other, and so I had fallen asleep and I woke up to like the walls rattling and all these huge booms. I freaked out. Chad wasn't in the room at the time. He was wandering around, and it wound up being the fireworks. I thought we were under siege. It was terrifying. So if you are new to Disneyland, just keep that in the back of your head that it's not Disney World. Things aren't like very spread out from each other. It's very close, very condensed, and even though your hotel seems further away, you are still going to hear everything. We were lucky enough to catch Disneyland during its 60th anniversary. Here are our tickets, and on top of that, it was also Halloween season. So that was like a double whammy, really triple whammy. First time at Disneyland during Halloween, and it was during the 60th. So these kinds of photo ops, God, I look awesome in that one. We'll just look at Chad. These kinds of photo ops were all over the parks, and we had a ton of fun with these. And then of course, wow, I'm on fire with the flattering pictures. And then of course they had all of the characters dressed for Halloween, looking so cute. Here we just have some more obligatory Disneyland pictures. I don't know if you guys follow Francis, but I have been following Francis on Instagram for a while now. I follow him on YouTube, or subscribe to him on YouTube, and I actually got to run into him in the park, so I got a picture with Francis because I'm awkward like that. And Mr. Crane's favorite, a Donald Duck, and his favorite thing to do with Donald Duck, shake a tail feather. Just more obligatory Disneyland pictures. I really like the shot we got of Vader. And of course there, It's a Small World is so beautiful. I love it so much. This was actually the envelope that our tickets came in. And then over here we have Chad with a Sword in the Stone, wearing a Sword in the Stone shirt. More photo ops from Big Thunder Mountain. The PhotoPass people were so funny at these locations. They'd have you do all kinds of different stuff. Mary Poppins, you guys know how I feel about Mary. That's my girl. And then I just talk a little bit about our day. We had a great time. The first half of the day, we got back adjustments from the Matterhorn. That was our first time in the Matterhorn, obviously. We enjoyed 15 full minutes of Pirates of the Caribbean and fell in love with Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy, which I guess is an unpopular opinion. A lot of people don't like Ghost Galaxy. We really liked it. After a fun afternoon, it was time to change into our Tweedle outfits for for Mickey's Halloween party. So here's our first Mickey's Halloween party. We had been to Not So Scary before, but it's different at Disney World, and Chad and I were the Tweedles, and we made sure to ride all of the Alice-themed rides when we were at Disneyland, and we especially liked the Alice Dark ride. Why don't we have that at Disney World? It's so much fun. And just a couple more pictures. These were our Not So Scary tickets. And Roger Rabbit is also another one of Chad's favorites, and he had never been to Toontown, and I hadn't seen Toontown since it had left Disney World, so that was so awesome to go back to like Mickey and Minnie's house. I remember from when I was a kid at Disney World. We have our Halloween party wristbands, and then we got pictures with the villains, and the whole reason we were able to get all of these pictures with the villains is because of this cast member. We have the most amazing cast member experiences at Disneyland. This is Jeremy, and he overheard us talking about how I really wanted to be able to see the Halloween fireworks. Those are my favorite Disney fireworks. But I also really wanted to meet the villains, and I didn't want to have to choose, but I went with the fireworks, and so we missed out being in the villains line. Jeremy heard us talking about it and made sure that when the fireworks were over, we had a spot in line. It was just the nicest thing ever. And this was the first of many like exceptional cast member experiences at Disneyland. As you'll see in this book, we took pictures of everybody. And just a few more villains pictures. The villain interactions were really fun. Well, some are really fun and some are kind of uncomfortable. Like the Evil Queen and Maleficent didn't really give us much to work with. Cruella was hilarious. Surprisingly enough, Radcliffe was hilarious, and I was like the least excited to meet him. We're like giving each other shit right here, actually. And then Hades was obviously the best. This is one of our favorite pictures from the trip. We are worms! And then our second day in Disneyland, another ride on Space Mountain. We are way in the back. Castle pictures. How beautiful is Ariel in this? Splash Mountain, looking good. And oh my gosh, that 60th anniversary castle was just like glistening from all sides. It was so beautiful. This was another first for us, finally getting to meet the fairy godmother. And then this was actually one of the things I was most excited about, because when I was a kid, I watched the Disneyland sing-along song, the Disneyland Fun. If you guys remember that VHS, it is amazing. I actually just watched it again the other day online. But anyway, they go in the whale's mouth in the boat, and that is something I've wanted to do since I was a kid. And because we always went to Disney World, I never got to do that. So when I finally got to ride the storybook, the canal boats, and we got to go into Monstro's mouth, I was so happy. That was like life goal unlocked for sure. And another first was us meeting Aladdin and the Genie. Here's our PhotoPass card. They were so awesome to interact with. We love talking to the characters. If you, ask them a question, come with like a request or a question or something prepared, within reason. Obviously, you will get so much more out of your character interaction if you give them something to work with. And the whole reason this was possible is because of this cast member. This is Irene, and she let us into the closed line because we were so excited to see Aladdin and the Genie together. And she just made it happen for us. So thank you, Irene. You are awesome. Now to me, this was probably the most special character interaction we had during this trip. We got to meet Jack and Sally. We did wait in line quite a while for this, but oh my god, I was so excited and so excited to finally ride Haunted Mansion Holiday. I've loved Nightmare Before Christmas since I was a kid. It's one of my favorite things in the world, and to finally meet Jack and Sally at a Disney park was just, oh my gosh. Another achievement unlocked for me. Another cool difference between Disneyland and Disney World is that Disneyland can have Marvel in it. So we got to meet Thor and Captain America. I'm not sure if these meet and greets are still going on. I know Spider-Man is there now too. Oh my gosh, I love this picture, how funny. And I know that Thor had a different meet and greet area in Interventions, but I liked where they were. I like the lighting, I like the pictures, I like everything about these. I especially like Thor and Cap and Chad. What can I say? I was a happy girl that day. So this was our last day in Disneyland. We didn't park hop. I didn't know how things were gonna work there. I probably would park hop next time. This is another awesome cast member moment. This was Daniel, and we were in line for the Nemo submarine ride, and we were talking to Daniel about how this was our first time at Disneyland, and we go to Disney World all the time. We were just so excited to be there, but we weren't getting to do as much as we had hoped because lines were ridiculous. We didn't think it was going to be as busy as it was, but it was insane. Lines were so long. And so we were just talking to him about like our experience and how much we love the rides at Disneyland so far. A lot of the Disneyland rides I like better than Disney World, honestly. But anyway, we were just like chatting in the line, and when we got off the Finding Nemo ride, Daniel was waiting for us with a fast pass for literally every ride. So we had fast passes for every ride for the rest of that day, and then he gave us a fast pass for every single ride at Disney California Adventure the following day, plus like a bonus fast pass to use on whatever we wanted. So this was amazing. I like wanted to cry. This was the nicest thing ever. We were so grateful, and I gave him a hug, and Daniel was not a hugger. He was kind of awkward, but we took his picture, and we of course every cast member interaction we did go to City Hall and write little cards and let everyone know how great everybody was. Please do that if you have like an exceptional moment with a cast member at any Disney park. Tell them at City Hall, give them credit. Yeah, Daniel made our trip, and it was just the nicest thing ever. So here we are at DCA. You'll notice we have some like different pictures. While we're here, a PhotoPass photographer kind of just took a liking to us, and she took us all over the place and got these really like cool, fun pictures just around DCA. So a lot of these are, yeah, awesome PhotoPass pictures. And that's how the day started, with another like amazing cast member experience. I cannot say enough about the Disneyland cast, really. That's another shot I really like too that she took. And then just your basic DCA pictures. These are actually paint samples. These are Project Life cards, but the Mickeys are actually paint samples from our local hardware store, like the Disney paint. You can just peel the Mickey right off and instant scrapbook Mickey. A few more of the 60th anniversary photo op pictures. There's some ice cream I ate. We really liked these ones that made you look like you were upside down on California Screamin'. So much so that I just dedicated an entire page to these pictures. I love them. Where's the one, this one, where Chad's going to grab his hat? That one, and then this one right here, I think are so cute. We were so happy we got to see the Aladdin show before it went away. Got a few pictures of that. It was, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I'm sure Frozen is great, but this show was hilarious and we loved it. And this was our first time meeting Olaf and getting warm hugs. We like them. Also, just noticing now, it kind of looks like Olaf is touching our privates. Oops. So we did go to Cars Land pretty early on. We did have the Fast Pass from the cast member, but we also did stand in line for a Cars Fast Pass too, because the line looked crazy and we didn't know what to expect, but we wound up riding single rider on it like 5, maybe 6 times in the morning. We just kept going on and going on and going on, and a lot of the time with single rider we still managed to ride together. So we rode the Radiator Springs Racers about 150 times that day approximately. Okay, so we're by ourselves on this one, but like, look, we're back together. Loved that ride and Radiator Springs. I'm actually not much of a Cars fan, but being in Radiator Springs made me more of a Cars fan. It was so cool, so immersive, and I just loved it. Here are a few more pictures from Cars Land. We did eat at the Cozy Cone. We got the pulled pork and the chili cones, and we got just a couple of shots of Cars Land at night. So beautiful. How gorgeous is Flo's. And then we have the final page of the scrapbook, and this is just kind of like a favorites page. I have a little recap of how the trip ended. We flew back to Ohio the morning of October 8th. I wish we had more than 3 days in the parks, but it was wonderful finally getting to experience Disneyland. While it wasn't what we're used to, it felt amazing to be where Walt had walked. We left exhausted but happy and with 10 pounds of candy. Oh yeah, we got a crap ton of candy at the Halloween party. Walt Disney World might be home to us, but I'm confident we'll be back soon. We also need to make another Arizona trip to Sedona. We did want to go to Sedona, but we ran out of time. And then here we go. Not the end. We'll be back. But it's the end of this video. So that's going to do it for this Scrapbook Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, the next Scrapbook one is going to be a doozy. I might have to make it 2 videos because it's long. We went hard with PhotoPass on that trip. So with that being said, I am off. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, I do make videos every single day, so hit subscribe if you'd like to hang out in the daily, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!